Okay, so we're going to get started on project number 23 right here. So I'm going to open that up, and while that's opening, we'll look at the assignment. Now, it does say collaboration, but we are going to be doing these on each individually. I've simply found it works better that way. So, storyline. Every year, the seniors at your high school take a class trip. This year's senior class will be traveling to New York City. As a representative on the student council, you and another representative have been asked to create a presentation that will give viewers more information about New York City and a brief look at the trip's itinerary. The presentation will be posted on the school's website for seniors and their parents to view. Your itinerary is basically the information and plan of your trip, okay? Primarily the plan. And it's usually pretty detailed. So let's go ahead and move this one out of the way. There we go. And just going to scroll down a tiny bit. And so here's our material here. So let's come over to our slide set. I'm going to go ahead and just slide this over a little bit. And our title, Explore the Big Apple. Oops. Okay, oops. Space. And then subtitle, Techtown High Schools. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select the text here. I'm just going to go ahead and turn that black. Okay, just if you're wondering what I'm doing and why. So I'm switching that over to black. While I'm at it, I think I'm going to use Meriwether for my font on this one. I haven't done much of using different fonts, but I kind of like Meriwether, and that's the main title, so it'll be bold. Good. And this one is just going to be normal. So coming over here to Meriwether normal. Okay. So with that done, let's go ahead and make our next slide. Now, most of the slides in this lesson are going to be title and body. Okay. So we're going to start right here with About New York City. About New York City. And again, I'm going to go ahead and make that one, because I decided to use it, I'm going to use Meriwether bold. Okay, and I'm going to move that up just a tiny bit because I might want to move this up some. Good. And I'm going to make the text here, as you guys know, right about 30. There we go. Oops. Let's just first select the text. Now make it right about 30. There we go. So about New York City. And then we're going to go ahead and grab the next paragraph out of the documents that I've given you. New York City has a long and interesting history that spans almost 400 years. Over time, it has changed greatly. Control C, back over to here, Control V. We're going to paste that in. And obviously that doesn't look very good. Let's see. So it's changed from a forest-filled skyscraper to a skyscraper-filled city. Interesting to consider what it'll look like in another 400 years. I'm going to go ahead and bump that up to 20-point font. Okay. And Control Z, I moved that a little bit. And obviously I'm going to start stitching these sentences back together. Backspace, spacebar. Unfortunately, backspace, spacebar. In Sheets, we don't have the ability to view non-printing characters over here. So it's just a case of looking at it and saying, that looks like there's a non-printing character there. Okay, there we go. And we're going to go ahead and we're also going to change this to Meriwether normal. Okay, which is a nice looking font. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to make that black. Okay, so I've got the text selected. I'm going to come over here, and instead of that gray, I'm going to select black. Just looks better. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and right click on that slide. You guys know what I'm going to do by now. I'm going to duplicate that slide. And now we're going to go to slide number 3, and it's going to be history. So I'm just going to select all this, history. By doing it this way, there's just a lot less work to do. I'm going to come over here to this one. The city was originally called New Amsterdam. Most of the original colonists were Dutch. Control C. Coming over here to this and selecting this. and Control Shift V so that I don't lose my formatting. Okay, so the city was originally New Amsterdam, and if I go ahead now, and I'm going to do it just to show you guys, I'm going to go ahead and turn the bullet on right now, and you see that obviously this isn't working. So, most of them were Dutch seeking to flee religious persecution, backspace, 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 spacebar. Okay, the island is named after the Native American tribe that was there originally, backspace, spacebar. And by the beginning of the 20th century was over 3 million, backspace, 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 spacebar. And so we've now stitched all of this back together. It looks a lot better. Okay, history. And now we're on slide 4. I'm going to right click on slide 3, duplicate slide, and up here, size and population. Okay, New York City is not a big city physically. It's actually surprisingly small. So, a lot of big cities are that way because people tend to forget that all of the areas around it. Control C. Come over here to the size and population slide. Want to make sure I'm still on slide 4. And Control Shift V. Good. And I'm going to down arrow here because you see there's that, when I was there was that extra area down there that I want to get rid of too, because I'm going to want to get rid of a lot of this unneeded space in order to be able to fit this in the font size I want. Okay, 300 square miles in size. Backspace, 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 spacebar. Good. Obviously, the word state's just hanging there by itself. Good. New York City is divided into different boroughs or neighborhoods. Okay. And they are Manhattan, Bronx, Queens, Brooklyn, and Staten Island. Backspace, 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 spacebar. Okay. Home to nearly 1.5 million people. Manhattan's population. Backspace, 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 spacebar. Nearly doubles during the week. On the weekend, when an additional 1.5 million. Nearly doubles in the work week. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why I read weekend there, because all of a sudden that didn't make sense. Okay, and there are over 200 different languages spoken in New York City. So we've now got slide number 4 done. Okay, we're moving right along. We're about to do slide number 5, famous landmarks. I'm going to right click on that slide. You guys know what I'm going to do. I'm going to duplicate slide, and I'm going to come up here to the top. Oops. Control Z. Don't even try to put these things back exactly where they were if you move something by accident. Just undo. It's easier and does a better job. FAMEOUS. Famous landmarks. The Empire State Building all the way down to Times Square. So I'm coming over here, and I'm going to select this paragraph here from the Empire State Building all the way down to Times Square. Control C. Going to come back over here, and I'm just going to select all of this just like that. Remember, if I hold the Shift key down, Control Shift V, and that pasted them in. Okay, there's nothing hanging down at the bottom, but I do want to get rid of that. Oh, there is. Backspace. Now that's fixed. Okay. The Empire State Building was the world's tallest man-made structure for quite a while. Other notable buildings include the Woolworths Building. Backspace, backspace. And the MetLife Insurance Tower. Okay. Central Park is one of the largest urban parks in the world, and encompasses over 800 acres. And you see how these sentences are just coming together as we do this. The Statue of Liberty was a gift from France. We've always had an interesting relationship with France as a nation. Okay, but Times Square is one of the most iconic and popular places in New York City. And you see that I was backspacing there too. Okay, we've got this one done. Let's go on to the next slide. Okay, so I'm going to right-click on Famous Landmarks. I'm going to click Duplicate Slide. And attractions. What are the things that people will go to do in New York? Attractions. Okay, and Ellis Island, all the way down to the Botanical Gardens. Control C. And I'm going to go ahead and select all of that, and Control V. Oops, Control Z. Control Shift V. There we go. That looks much better. Backspace, backspace, backspace. Well, there's not really a whole lot to do on this one. It's already in 20-point font. Ellis Island, a very famous place where a tremendous number of European immigrants went through on their way to America. Rockefeller Center, a very beautiful office complex. Chinatown and Little Italy, Museum of Modern Art, Coney Island, the Bronx Zoo, New York Aquarium, and the Botanical Gardens. That's basically focused on plants, botany, plants. Okay, so we're basically done with that slide. There wasn't a whole lot to do there. I'm going to right click on that slide right now, and I'm going to duplicate slide. And of course, one thing that people think of with New York City, food. And I'm going to come over here and select, according to many people, New York pizza is the best in the world. I think they're close to right. Control C. And now I'm just going to go ahead and select all this stuff that we just typed or pasted in the last time, and Control Shift V. And obviously we're going to clean this up. Okay. New York pizza? Probably is. But of course, that's entirely opinion, but I really like New York style pizza. Place when I worked near Ashland, Oregon, a lot of times when I was in Ashland, Oregon, around lunchtime, I would go to a place that was run by a guy from New York. It was great pizza. Anyways, backspace here, thousands of mobile food carts. Yeah, food carts are one of those things. The taco trucks are kind of close, but not quite the same. Mobile food carts are generally a lot smaller operation. Usually like one guy, and he's not in it, he's just standing behind it doing this stuff. Many neighborhoods, and those are all over China too, just as a comment. I used to eat at those all the time. Many restaurants or neighborhoods are known for their different type of food. Backspace, backspace, spacebar. And of course, Little Italy for its Italian food. Backspace, backspace, spacebar. Okay, delis. Backspace, backspace, backspace. Places where you go get a sandwich and various other stuff. The whole idea comes from New York City. Let's go to the next one here. Celebrities from New York City. Are we on? Yep. Right click. Change. What am I doing? Duplicate slide. Thank you. And celebrities from New York City. And I'm going to be honest, we're going to get to a lot of names that I don't know. Celebritties Celebrities from FROM. I think this is the first time we've used the NYC abbreviation. Simply stands for New York City. And we're going to grab a whole bunch of names here. Like I said, truthfully, I don't know many of these names. Okay. Control C. Coming back over here. And I'm just going to go ahead and do all of that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go Control Shift V. And I'm going to backspace, backspace, backspace. Okay. Are these really 20-point font? It seems to think they are. Okay, so we don't need to break that down into a separate column. I'll be honest, a few names here I recognize. I couldn't tell you what they look like. Some of them. Some of them I know pretty. I mean, I got a good idea who they are. I mean, obviously I know a few of them. Let's go to the next slide. So I'm going to right click on the celebrity slide. Duplicate slide. Yeah, we're going to get through this one pretty quickly. And I'm going to come down here, and slide 9, yes it is. Senior class trip itinerary, where we're going to go. So, what do they do that way? Yep. Come on, TRIP. ITIN ERARY, itinerary. And so we've got Thursday, Friday, and Saturday here that we're planning on right now. So I'm going to go ahead and grab these right here. Control C. And I come back over to here. And you guys know what I'm doing. Control Shift V. Okay, and I'm going to backspace there a few times. So let's take a look at this. Now we need to add some words to it. So enter, up, backspace, backspace. Thursday, Thursday. Okay. Then on Thursday, we're going to the Empire State Building, the Rockefeller Center, and Times Square, but not the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Enter. We're going there on Friday. Okay. And then on Saturday, so I click there to enter, up arrow, backspace, backspace, we're going to Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty. Saturday. Okay, and let's go ahead and make these here bold, okay? I think they'll just look a little bit better as bold. Okay, so there's Meriwether bold, and there's also, if you're using a different font, of course, you can use bold here, okay? Either one's going to do the same for you, okay? We'll just make those bold. It isn't really a big difference, and you can see that, but it does help them stand out a little bit, okay? And so, is there anything else here? Yes. Inside the title box. Slide 10. Okay. Not really a whole lot on slide 10. So I'm going to right click here on slide 9. Duplicate slide. And we're going to come up here and we're going to paste this. Kind of an odd way of doing this, but it's what they want to do. Control C. And, I mean, it's not going to look bad. Let's go ahead and select this stuff up here. Control Shift V. And obviously we're going to get rid of all of this in the process. Backspace. Okay, I'm going to grab this little box right here and pull that down a little ways. And I see a problem right here. So I'm going to click right there before for Word Office and backspace spacebar. Okay, I'm going to grab this one here, just move it down under. It isn't really needed, but it does make it look a little bit better. Okay, and at this point, what they're asking you to do is put in a graphic and maybe put some graphics in up here on the ones that you have easy space to do it, like attractions. You know, right over here, we can put something. So I'm just going to come over here, and I'm going to grab this, and I'll pull that in. I don't know how big a picture I want to put over here. We'll find out. And let's see here. What do we want to do? New York Aquarium, Ellis Island, Coney Island. Sure, we'll do Coney Island. Why not? Control C. So I don't think it was on our itinerary, was it? Let me look at the itinerary. It's not on it. None of these are on it. Hold on, Ellis Island is on it. Okay, I don't want to do Ellis Island. I mean, not necessarily a happy thing. So, come over here, and I'll go with Coney Island. Okay, Coney Island is basically a large park. When people think of Coney Island, the main thing we think of, I mean, there's other stuff there, of course, but the main thing we think of with Coney Island is an amusement park. Control V, Coney Island. Coney Island. Okay, and yeah, I'm going to go with this one. Sure, insert. Yeah, looks good enough. Okay, so that, and now I'm going to move the cross on it, and I'm just going to move up and down until I'm centered, and I'm centered right there. Now, where it was, that line on the top, that also works. That's lined up with the top. Okay, so either one works. Let's go ahead and scroll down a little bit. Okay, celebrities from New York. Good Lord. I'm going to say pick one and put the picture over here. You guys know how to do it. You're going to come over here, you're going to drag this in, and just pick one that you like, okay? Just, like I say, pick one that you like. Who do I like here? He isn't bad. They're all not, none of them are really bad. None of them, I mean, I'm not going to do Lady Gaga. I'll do Robert De Niro, because people would associate him more with me. Control C. And, of course, you guys know what I'm going to do over here. Click on that. Notice I used a different way to get there, and Control V. Oops, that was bright. Okay, let's try that again. Search the web, and enter. Do we have any pictures of him not doing anything stupid? Wow. Not really. Okay, so, sure. Insert. Yeah, good. Good enough. Make it a bit smaller. Okay. Okay. I mean, you could have picked somebody else, okay? I just picked some, and that nobody's going to have any complaints about. Okay, and let's go ahead and pick one of these. How about the very first one, the Empire State Center? Control C, and I'm just going to go ahead and again drag this line over about to here. Good. Actually, I prefer the Met. The Metropolitan Museum of Art is frequently called the Met. Control C. I think I'm going to use it instead. I like that idea better. Search the web. Control V. Yeah, Robert De Niro was a bad choice. But anyways, enter. And the Met. Yeah, that was good enough. Okay, and insert. Actually, wait a minute. I saw that. Oh, well. I saw another one in there that I really liked. It was the one of all the people milling about inside. Just looked nice. Okay, and let's see here. And interested in going on the senior class trip. So here, I'll simply get rid of this box by clicking up on one of these rails. Come on. And then hitting backspace. Box is gone, and I'm going to insert a picture, and my picture is just going to be New York City. I have no idea what it'll give me. New York City. Looks great. Okay, insert. And of course, we're going to center that in the center. See that red line right there? Telling me I'm in the center. Make sure you don't have the picture sitting on an edge, because things always look like they got cut off when you do that. And that top rail is telling me that it's right under that, and that looks okay. I'm saying this is good. Go ahead and turn it in. Only don't use Robert De Niro. That was a bad choice.